Have you ever felt that strange sensation in your gut? The one that gnaws at you even though you can't quite explain why. It's as if something is off but no one else seems to notice. Is it your imagination or is God trying to speak to you? In the quiet moments, in the chaos of your day, do you ever hear whispers, or perhaps even see signs that something isn't quite right? So, I want you to listen. There's a message being sent to you. God speaks in ways we often overlook, through the people we meet, the situations we face, and the stillness of our hearts. When God warns you, it's not just a feeling. It's a call to attention. Maybe it's time to pause, to reflect, and to ask yourself, what is God trying to warn me about? There are times in life when we feel an unease, a sense of impending change or discomfort, yet we push it aside. Life gets busy, distractions come, and we forget to listen to the promptings that God has placed within us. But the truth is, He speaks clearly. He warns us not out of fear, but out of love, desire, and protection. There's something happening in your life right now that God is trying to reveal. Are you paying attention? The first sign God gives you may be subtle, almost unnoticeable, but it's there. His warning comes when you're at a crossroads. It may appear as a feeling of doubt, a sudden anxiety, or an unsettling thought that makes you question a decision you've already made. That feeling is your first clue. It's not always dramatic, sometimes it's quiet. Have you ever experienced a situation that seems to go from calm to turbulent, almost out of nowhere? You wake up one day and your world feels different. Things that once seemed stable now seem shaky. You can't explain it, but it's as though the ground beneath you is shifting. This is one of God's warnings. He allows certain things in our lives to crumble, not because He's punishing us, but because He's trying to get our attention. A sudden change in your relationship, a break in your routine, or an unexpected obstacle can be God's way of telling you, pay attention, something needs to change. He knows what's ahead. You don't. But God, in His infinite wisdom, allows us to see glimpses of what could be, or what might come, if we don't heed the warning. These shifts, though uncomfortable, are designed to open your eyes. Don't ignore them. When everything seems to be falling apart, it's often because God is realigning you for something greater. This may be the very moment where He is trying to protect you from a future decision you'll regret. You may not see the danger yet, but trust me, God does. And in this moment, He is working behind the scenes, preparing you for what's to come. Have you ever felt an overwhelming sense of guilt or confusion after making a decision? It's as though something deep within you just doesn't sit right. That sense of regret, even when you haven't done anything outwardly wrong, might just be God's warning sign. He works through your conscience to guide you, to speak to your soul when you veered off course. You see, God doesn't leave us in the dark. He places these feelings in our hearts to make us pause, reflect, and reconsider the path we're on. Sometimes it's not the big mistakes that are dangerous, it's the little ones we ignore. Have you ever brushed aside a decision, only to feel it creep back into your thoughts? That's God calling you back. He doesn't let us go astray without a fight. The small nudge in your heart is a warning that something isn't aligned with His will for your life. You might feel it when you're about to make a choice that will affect your future, or when your peace is disturbed by the thought of a decision you're about to make. This is God's way of urging you to stop and reflect. Don't ignore these moments of discomfort. God doesn't just warn us in silence. He warns us through the people we encounter. Have you ever been told something that stopped you in your tracks? It wasn't just a coincidence, it was God's voice speaking through others. Perhaps a friend or even a stranger said something that struck a deep chord within you, or maybe you've had an encounter that left you questioning your choices. Don't overlook these moments. God uses others to speak to us, to redirect our paths, or to confirm something we've been hesitant about. Think about it. How many times have you been given a word of advice or a warning from someone, only to later realize that it was exactly what you needed to hear? Those conversations that seem random, those words that seem to come out of nowhere, they're not random. They're divine interventions. God is constantly using the people around you to speak to you. And when you hear something that resonates deeply, when it hits you in a way that you can't ignore, take that as a sign. It may be the exact warning you needed to steer you away from harm. Have you ever found yourself facing the same problem repeatedly? No matter how hard you try, it seems like you can't break free. You keep making the same mistakes, or things keep falling apart in the same area of your life. This could be God's warning that you haven't learned the lesson He's trying to teach you. Sometimes, God allows us to face the same trials over and over again until we finally acknowledge what He's trying to show us. The cycle is meant to make us stop and reflect. What is it that you're missing? The patterns that keep repeating themselves in your life are not accidents. God doesn't allow things to happen without purpose. If you find yourself in a constant state of frustration, constantly bumping into the same roadblocks, maybe it's time to ask God, what am I missing? What do I need to change? Your situation may not change until you learn the lesson God is teaching you. Don't allow pride or stubbornness to keep you trapped in a cycle. God is giving you the chance to break free, but you must choose to listen. Sometimes God's warning comes in the form of a closed door. Have you ever faced a situation where no matter how hard you try, doors just won't open? No matter how much you pray, how much you push, you can't seem to get through. This is one of God's most powerful ways of warning you. When He closes a door, it's not because He's punishing you, it's because He's protecting you. He knows that the door you're trying to open isn't the right one for you. And even though you don't understand it at the moment, that closed door is a sign of His love. You may want something so badly, but God sees the bigger picture. Trust that the doors He's closing are for your own good. If you're facing rejection or if things aren't working out despite your best efforts, don't be discouraged. Instead, look for the door He's opening. God's delays are not His denials. When you walk in faith, even when it feels like everything is against you, know that He is guiding you. A closed door is not the end, it's just the beginning of a new path.